Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to the Tuesday, October 10 days of our live spoilers, Holly Jonas dropped a tiny bag as she was walking by, and Tate Black saw it and yelled for her to get it back. Holly learned about Tate's academic difficulties after they exchanged names, and she offered he smoke with her to unwind. Tate was tempted to join Holly in getting high when Holly offered a joint from the bag she dropped, but he held back when he saw a police officer close. Tate and Holly exchanged phone numbers, though, and made plans to meet together soon. Holly avoided Tate's kiss attempt and questioned what he was doing. Holly pretended everything was good and said she was already in love with someone she had known for a very long time after Tate became agitated and apologized. On Tuesday's episode of Days, Nicole Walker went over to Abe Carver's table in the town center and was overjoyed when he recognized her. Nicole erroneously believed that Abe had regained his memory, but he clarified that all he had done was recall some information from the cards Kayla Johnson and Steve Johnson had been using to assist him. Nicole nevertheless told Abe how much he had been like a father to her. Nicole was touched by the intimate moment Abe had with her before his date with Paulina Price because she could tell why he had been so close to her. Tate eventually recognized Nicole when she later ran into him and gave him a quick reminder of who she was. Tate eventually brought up his academic problems and how he had been forced to return to Salem. Tate indicated she was already into another person after he admitted he felt foolish about meeting a female and getting turned down. On Tuesday's Days episode, Paulina received some advice from Kate Roberts Brady at the pub before her date with Abe. Paulina also received encouragement from Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree once she arrived home. Chanel went into the kitchen for snacks when she and Johnny arrived at the DiMera estate to watch a movie. Holly then showed up. Holly greeted Johnny and began raving about his knowledge of movies before Chanel returned with the popcorn. Holly put on a phony smile and exclaimed, "That's great," when she learned that Johnny and Chanel were reconciling. On Tuesday's DOL episode, Paulina was back at her apartment, and she gave the wine Abe brought over high marks. Paulina was left with optimism when Abe promised to get the decanter because he instantly remembered where they kept it. Paulina interpreted that as a sign of good things to come, even though Abe didn't appear to read too much into that. He kept attempting to explain to Theresa Donovan in Alex Kyriakis' office that he had work to complete and couldn't go for dinner. Theresa begged Alex to put in writing his assurance that they would do it another night. Theresa emphasized to Alex that she was unaware that he was Victor Kyriakis' son prior to their relationship in order to emphasize that this wasn't about gold digging. Theresa then had a memory flashback of handling and concealing Victor's briefcase while they were in Greece. Alex acknowledged in the present that he thought Theresa wasn't wanting his money, but he continued to worry if she was using him to make Brady Black envious. Theresa contended that Alex wouldn't have asked that question if Brady and Tate had been on the aircraft from California with him. Theresa claimed that she and Brady had arguments over everything, and as a result, she pretended to detest Brady. Alex finally caved under Theresa's pressure and agreed to dinner, so before they left, he made a reservation at the bistro. She reassured him that they shared the same opinion about delaying marriage when they were visiting Chad DiMera and Stephanie Johnson's apartment. Stephanie spoke with Kayla Johnson over the phone after Chad had departed to go pick up the kids from Doug Williams and Julie Williams' house and admitted to lying to comfort Chad. Chad told Stephanie again that she should not rush into marriage after he had returned with information about the children pleading to spend the night with Julie and Doug. He then wished them well. Before going to the bistro for supper, Stephanie reassured Chad, which resulted in an unpleasant encounter with Theresa and Alex on Tuesday's Days episode. In a brief conversation with Alex alone, Chad mentioned that he could relate to Alex's experience because he had experienced something similar when learning that Stefano DiMera was his father. Chad acknowledged that they had their share of problems, but he still offered to listen if Alex ever wanted to talk. Alex thanked Chad and sat down at their own table with a very flirtatious Theresa. Although he didn't seem very confident that it would, Chad joined Stephanie across the room and hoped that Theresa and Alex were able to resolve their issues. Theresa will reportedly continue to scheme, so watch for more Days of Our Lives turmoil. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, October 11, Tate Black will go on about the female he was flirting with who rejected him to Nicole Walker. Naturally, Tate hasn't mentioned Holly Jonas, so the pieces of the puzzle haven't come together yet. When Tate discusses Holly and remarks on how attractive she was, Nicole will argue that she is her mother and will probably be relieved that she wasn't more interested than a friend. Nicole might, however, be worried about Holly's unnamed current love interest. It's clear from Holly's actions at the DiMera estate right now that she has a major crush on Johnny DiMera. On Wednesday's DOL episode, things will become much worse for Holly, who has started to crash dates. According to Day's teasers, Holly will ultimately dump a tray of drinks all over Johnny and Chanel Dupree. This was probably done on purpose so that Chanel could have to go home. Holly's scheme ought to fail because it appears that Johnny will offer Chanel a shower and a change of clothes instead. Nicole will meet Holly later and may question her over her interaction with Tate. Nicole may eventually notice Holly's love interest in Johnny as well. In any event, Holly will use her phone to text someone. So now that Johnny and Chanel are back together, she might be more open to Tate's attempts. Tate will undoubtedly need to release some steam after receiving yet another lecture from Brady Black, so Holly may at least hope they can do it together. Brady seems to have some employment updates for Tate, but will he actually work at the bar they discussed? We'll see whether it means Brady has the pub job locked in or if he would consider hiring Tate as an intern for Basic Black, as Day's spoilers indicate Brady will have a new employment chance for Tate. Tate will experience love despite the challenging circumstances of his return to Salem, when he and Marlena Evans encounter a loving reunion. Marlena will also express her appreciation in Wednesday's episode when she thanks Harris Michaels for saving Susan Banks from Edmund Crumb. Marlena will realize that Harris has fallen in love with Ava Vitali when he tells her about her. According to Day's spoilers, Marlena will confront Harris about his love for Ava and attempt to coax a confession out of him. Johnny will experience a shock when Grandma Susan enters the DiMera living room in the interim. The way Johnny responds to learning that Susan is indeed alive and well will make for some heartwarming moments. Although EJ will rely on Susan to testify against Ava and get her permanently imprisoned, Susan will choose not to do so because she has forgiven Ava and is appreciative of her assistance in the London rescue. EJ won't like Susan's decision, but he will have to accept it according to Days of Our Lives spoilers. Thanks for watching if you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.